is an opportunity for me to come here and join you this evening to bid you farewell on your deployment to Darfur.
His message to the gallant men on a mission in the restoration of peace at the Sudanese troubled region of Darfur has been the zero tolerance for any misconduct that will taint the image they built in 14 years of peacekeeping services within the African continent.
Darfur, as you all know, most of you have been there anyway, it is not a place where you go and enjoy yourselves. It is not a picnic, it is not an exercise. You are going in an operation area that we have helped to establish, an area where we have left a very good legacy, an area where we were able to carve a niche for ourselves as a country and as an armed force. I expect nothing less from you guys. We are not going to lower the standards for any reason. The sacrifice and the hard work which have been made by people that you are going to relieve in the mission area must be built upon.
The contingent under the command of Lieutenant Colonel Dembo Jaju are determined to live up to expectations conferred onto them by their commander-in-chief in the restoration of peace at Darfur. Babukar Kamara, Grts.
It's the last Saturday in the month of June, and as usual, people across the country have been clearing the surrounding. The exercise dubbed Setsetal saw officials of Kanifing Municipal Council, led by the CEO, descend on the Tipo Garage dump site to rid it of refuse. Fatu Jase tells us how the exercise fared in parks to the Kanifing municipality.
The latest round of the monthly cleaning exercise saw a significant turnout in Sukuta, where women and youth groups convoyed to clean their streets. Several youth associations have joined in the exercise, and according to Malamin Sonko, their efforts are geared towards complementing efforts of the community in creating a healthy environment. The VDC chairperson, Fatu Cham, applauded the initiative, saying it is through exercises of this nature that places prone to mosquito-borne disease can be prevented. This month's round of the cleansing exercise also saw the participation of expatriate groups in the Gambia. Elisa is among a batch of volunteers from the United States. She describes such exercise as important to the health of the people of the nation.
I think it's great. I think it shows great initiative. It seems like everyone has come out and is working really hard, and the whole community seems to be involved, so it's really great.
One inappropriate dump site is the one located at the Tipa Garage. The site was a scene of intense activity by KMC officials led by the council's CEO.
It has been dumped here by the people in the market here, and we have been warning them several times not to. But I think what we do is that we also make some stiffer penalties to make sure that they don't do it again. But right now, what I'm doing now, I engage a contractor. Immediately after the cleansing exercise, they'll come and clear up the whole mess today. That's what I'm doing today. Yes.
A number of volunteers took part in the exercise, right in this strategic area of refuse and garbage. For GRTS News, I am Fatu Jasi.
You can follow those stories on other GRTS programs live on our website at www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor GRTS Radio Live. We'll be back with more stories right after this break.
What's your AfriCell number?
773.
What's your mobile number?
735.
What's your AfriCell number?
746.
What's your number?
My number is 215. 2?
You mean 72?
No, it's 2, and I am AfriCell 2.
AfriCell 2? Hey, hey!
Yes, 2 is AfriCell 2.
Hey, hey!
AfriCell introduces the new AfriCell series, the number 2.
Welcoming the number 2 to the AfriCell family.
From now on, the AfriCell lines will not only start with the number 7, but also with the number 2.
Get a new AfriCell SIM card now that starts with the number 2.
So now I can get an AfriCell number that starts with the number 2?
Yes, and when you receive a call from a number starting with the number 2, it's one of the new AfriCell lines calling you. My mobile number is 2, and
we are AfriCell 2!
Welcome back. Gender equality has taken center stage as voters in Senegal prepare to go to polling booths on Sunday to elect legislators. This report by Sefai looks at the story of Aissatou Sabara, who has been in politics for 15 years and is now hoping to win the seat for her constituency.
Visiting neighborhoods, holding meetings, and more, Aissatou Sabara has been in the game of politics for some 15 years. But this is the first time that she is campaigning for herself. Aissatou Sabara has the backing of her party for the parliamentary elections on Sunday in Senegal. Applying a law covering gender equality in politics from 2010, every party must put forward a candidates list with as many women as men.
Men are very aware that women are the backbone of the development of the country. They understand that today we are simultaneously taking care of our family, households and offices, that we are educating the children, and we have a place in assembly.
Aissatou Sabara is already assistant mayor in a suburb of Dakar and vice president of the party, the Alliance of Forces for Change. The party wants the gender equality law to be applied in everything it does. In fact, the founder of the party is supporting the candidates. Mustafa Niasse has come out in favor of affirmative action, in favor of women. Gender equality is about justice and fair practices for women. I think we should go further and begin to favor women. They are the keepers of values and faith within society. Of the 7,000 candidates for the parliamentary elections, half are women. This is a first in Senegal and praised by civil society groups who organized leadership training programs during the campaign. Gender equality has become a tool to bring new faces to domestic politics and upgrade the functioning of the country.
Our country is experiencing an extraordinary moment. This is a major turning point in our political awareness. It is about bettering the way we practice our politics by investing in human resources.
3 months after the elections for president, the voting for parliament will determine the majority in the assembly. The number of women elected will be followed very closely.
Mali's caretaker Prime Minister has replaced Dioncounda Traoré as interim president. This after a recent ECOWAS summit in Yamoussoukro. The summit condemns the armed gangs terrorizing Mali's capital Bamako and called for urgent actions to contain this spiraling violence. And as we hear in this report, ECOWAS is waiting for a UN resolution before deploying troops to the country.
Mali's Prime Minister replaced the president at an ECOWAS summit in Yamoussoukro. The president is being treated in France after an attempt against his life. ECOWAS, the Economic Community of West African States, discussed the crisis in Mali. The summit condemned attacks and violence by armed groups and army forces terrorizing Mali's capital, Bamako.
The physical attack against Mali's interim president has now made everyone understand the very real problems of security. If the president is a victim of such an attack, it proves how much of a security problem we have. ECOWAS must act.
ECOWAS has condemned the leader of the former junta, Captain Amadou Sanogo, and his allies. The failed junta is continuing to create an obstacle to the deployment of regional forces in northern Mali. ECOWAS is waiting for a United Nations resolution before deploying 3,300 men to wrest control of northern Mali from rebel groups who have declared an Islamic State.
The United Nations Security Council is waiting for us to firm up our operations and our intervention plans. We aim to stop the great distress taking place in the north.
The African Union and ECOWAS describe the groups that control northern Mali as terrorists. The two bodies say that the groups are not only a danger for stability in West Africa, but they are also a threat to the international community.
Egypt's new president has used his inaugural address to reach out to the country's Coptic Christians. The election of Mohamed Morsi, who used to be a member of the Muslim Brotherhood, has raised fears in some quarters the country could become an Islamic state. This report looks at the president's reconciliatory message to Egypt's Coptic Christian community.
Mohamed Morsi has been sworn in by the Constitutional Court, thus making him Egypt's 5th president and the first to have been freely elected.